The Lakers had one of their most disappointing seasons ever. The preseason favorite to win the West, LA didn't even make the playoffs. And yesterday, Stephen A. offered a solution and ruffled some feathers in the process, suggesting the purple and gold should trade one of their big three, and it wasn't Russell Westbrook or Anthony Davis. Take a listen to who should be taking their talents elsewhere.
I want to announce to the American public that I think the Los Angeles Lakers should strongly consider trading LeBron James. The Los Angeles Lakers, as presently constructed, are going nowhere. He's the only person that has extreme value. You the Lakers, where you going? You got nothing.
Okay. Big Perk, you got all that, right? You heard it all, marinated on that. You're good to go? Okay. Tell me this. What move do the Lakers need to make?
Molly, I can't believe that we actually still talking about the Lakers, and I was very disappointed that Stephen A. even brought up LeBron James and the Lakers, because I wanted to let them be in the past and talk about what we seeing right now in these young superstars. But since I got to talk about it, I will, okay? Listen here. If I'm the Lakers, right, I would consider trading Anthony Davis for Kyrie Irving. I believe when you look at the Los Angeles, when you look at the Los Angeles.
Hold on. Don't just blow by. Repeat that for the audience. Let's pause for a second here. Let's pause. I need you to repeat that slowly so the American people can hear what you just said. What did you just say?
You do realize that I talk slow. So how much slower do you want me to talk? Okay, I said.
You talk that slow.
I said, Stephen A., that if I'm the Lakers, I would really consider trading Anthony Davis for Kyrie Irving. And let me explain why, okay? I think that it's time for both franchises, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets, to get a new change, okay? Both of them. And I think the players need a new change. I wouldn't mind seeing Kyrie Irving back with LeBron James, a guy that he went to finals with and won the championship, had one of the greatest runs to a championship in NBA history. And I also wouldn't mind seeing Anthony Davis team up with Kevin Durant in the Eastern Conference. And here's why I would like Anthony Davis in the Eastern Conference. When you look at the Eastern Conference, what is the Eastern Conference stacked of? Bigs. When you look at Giannis Antetokounmpo, when you look at Joel Embiid, when you look at Bam Adebayo, if you're the Brooklyn Nets and you're Kevin Durant, I'm looking at AD like, hey, this conference that's the better conference got nothing but great bigs. I need someone to match that intensity when it comes playoff time. And who's the better fit that's out there that could be available than Anthony Davis? Now when I look at the Lakers, I'm like, hell, we won a championship with AD. We know how a lot of the fans around Laker Town feel about him. And now that's what I'm saying. Give him a change of scenery. Bring Kyrie Irving back with his mentor in the late, great Kobe Bryant played for, and give him an opportunity to put on a Laker jersey and play alongside LeBron James. I think it's a win-win for both organizations.
You know what? I'm not going to even just dismiss that or totally disagree with it.
You can.
I can. I trust you, me. I can. But I will tell you this. Here's where it's interesting because it makes me laugh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, clearly you don't have the love for LeBron James that you said you do. And clearly you don't. I mean, you talked about your relationship, how you love your brother and you've known him since high school and all this other stuff. You have no love for LeBron James to wish Kyrie Irving back on him. I mean, with the kind of stuff that he's had to go. I mean, are you trying to send LeBron James into an asylum? So are you trying to send him to therapy? I mean, that's a lot to ask him to deal with, okay? I mean, now I will say this. Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis miss about the same amount of games. I mean, I'll give you that. I mean, Kyrie might have him beat, for crying out loud. He might play less games. I mean, I got to look that up. All right, so you got me there. You got me there, even though Anthony Davis is strictly due to injury, strictly due to him being injury prone. That's the only reason. I mean, if Kyrie had excuses for missing games in Brooklyn and Boston and all this, could you imagine the excuses he'd come up with in LA to miss games? I mean, just brace yourself for it now, because listen, it's a problem for him to show up to work now. It's a problem for him. Now, from a basketball perspective, here's another thing that you didn't consider. Kyrie Irving and Russell Westbrook on the same team.
No, Stephen A. You know better than that. That's a nice try. You would have to move Russell Westbrook and bring.
You didn't say
That's
that.
a nice try. You know I'm too smart for that.
Did you say that? I mean, did you say it? I mean, you didn't leave it out there. You didn't say it.
But
So
I
you
don't
said
have
it
to
now.
say. I don't have to say it. What's known don't have to be said.
Yeah, it does. It does have to be said. Hell yeah, it has to be said. Hell yes, it has to be said. You can't just sit up there and talk about moving Anthony Davis, but Russell Westbrook is still on the Lakers, and just say bring Kyrie to the Lakers. You got to make sure you crystallize for everybody exactly what you mean.
Why? Because listen, it's common sense. If I'm going to acquire Kyrie Irving, what makes you think I'm gonna keep Russell Westbrook? That don't take a rocket science to figure that out. That don't take an analytics or somebody in the front office of a NBA organization to figure. That's common sense.
Fine. You talking about getting rid of Russell Westbrook, and you're talking about trading Anthony Davis for Kyrie Irving. Fair enough.
Yep.
I'm telling you this. I don't see that. In fairness to you and me, we don't see either happen. And when I talked about LeBron James, I said they should strongly consider it. It wasn't an insult to LeBron James. It's a testament to his greatness. He's the only commodity they have. He's the only commodity they have, all right? Because they'll tell you we can't get value for Anthony Davis because everybody believes Anthony Davis is too injury prone. So we can't get the value for his greatness because we know when he's healthy, Anthony Davis is great. But when he's not healthy, which is a lot, they question, is he going to be available? So that's the problem with him. And so to me, again, if you're talking about making that move, can't see that happening. When I brought up LeBron James and I talked about you should consider it, I'm saying this. You're the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron averaged 32 with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, my brother, everyone knows you are a superstar talent. You are a superstar caliber player that can make a difference on any team that you are on the court for. No matter what anybody says about you, whether it's Charles Barkley calling you street clothes or somebody else having something to say, the only thing anyone can say about you and the only thing anyone has said about Anthony Davis is that you're always injured. Period. There's nothing else that anybody said. They've never questioned his character. They've never questioned his work ethic during the season. They've never questioned, the kind of person he is. Nothing like that. We never would do that, Anthony Davis. We're only saying you're always hurt. And guess what? That happens to be factual, particularly over the last 2 years where you've missed a minimum of 32 games each of the last 2 seasons, okay? Anthony Davis is in the lineup this year. The Lakers are, at the very least, in the playing game. They're playing tomorrow. Book it. They're playing tomorrow or later on this week if Anthony Davis is on the court. Regardless of all the troubles they had, they're playing in this game because that's how impactful and great Anthony Davis is. The fact is, you haven't been healthy, and there are people who question what level of commitment he gives to his strength and conditioning during the off season to prepare it. There are guys, and I was saying this to this wonderful person that I had dinner with last night when we were talking about this stuff. There are guys who get ready, and then there are guys who stay ready. Yeah. LeBron James stays ready. Yeah. Floyd Money Mayweather stays ready. Kobe, God rest his soul, stayed ready. Okay? Michael Jordan stayed ready. And then you have people who show up when it's time to get ready.
I get it.
But they haven't been living like they stay ready. Anthony Davis is one of those guys that looks like he's getting ready as opposed to somebody who stays ready as it pertains to his conditioning and his strength. And that is why people question his durability. It's the only question anybody has labeled in his direction. But it is a legitimate question, and you have to live with that because we have history right in front of us.
No, he missed 42 games this season, which is half of the season. Yeah, big perk. I was staying ready when I was in the gym 5 a.m. this morning. Your thoughts?
I hear that. Yeah, Molly. That's how you got to do it. I wasn't though. I wasn't staying.
I wasn't. Neither was I. Neither was I. I was asleep.
Yeah.
4:30, the alarm went off, and I said, Molly.
I was asleep.
Yeah.
Are you going to be average?
Kendrick Perkins and I are trying to work on that James Harden diet. That's what we want to. We want to work on the James Harden diet. You be in the gym, we gonna work on the James Harden diet.
Let me just
Now
say,
that brother got ripped in 2 weeks.
Let me just say one thing real quick, though. If you work out in the morning, there's no excuses. I find if you wait till the end of the day, there's always an excuse not to do it. That's why I get up in the morning.
Very inspirational, man.
Whatever. Go ahead, Perk. Go ahead, Perk.
That's a great point. You know what? I do think the pairing of LeBron James and Anthony Davis could bring a title back. I really do. Look, LeBron James, at the age of 37, averaged 30 points a night. He's still giving these young boys in the league that work. And if Anthony Davis, and I get it, Stephen A., it's a big if because of his history, you know, as far as his injuries and things of that nature. But if AD could stay healthy, yes, those two combined healthy, yes, they could win a championship. But it all depends on what we talked about at the top of the show. What is the front office going to do? What is LeBron James going to do? Because he played a role in assembling this team that they had this year too. So he can't get off the hook as well. And I love LeBron. And I love what he brought to the floor, brought to the table on the floor. I didn't like his offseason additions off the court. That's another story. But it comes down to what is Rob Pelinka, how they're going to construct this roster, what culture they're going to bring in. And I get it. It's a lot of ifs. But I'm not giving up on these two as far as them being able to handle their business and deliver a championship because LeBron James is not going anywhere anytime soon. The same stuff that he showed us this year, he's going to show us next year. The way that he played at the extremely high level, if the Lakers had a better record, we would actually be talking about LeBron James as an MVP candidate.
That's
Steve
true.
A.
I totally agree with you.
I was doing my All-NBA list, and I said to myself, I get it. There's 16 games under 500, but how can I not reward LeBron James for making an All-NBA team? One of them. I didn't say first team or second team, but just one of them. That's how special he has been this season. But look, to Anthony Davis' injuries, I get it. We want availability. And you and I had this conversation over this weekend, right?
Yep.
You and I had this conversation over this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, it's certain injuries, though, that he had, and I had to think about
Freak
it.
injuries.
That
Freak
was kind of unfair to him. Yeah, like he couldn't control the rolling on somebody's foot with his ankles and things to that nature. But look, I would tell Anthony Davis this.